So another element of this painting, and I don't know if this is different from most of your work, but often when I think of your work, I think of kind of your use of industrial oil gloss paints, and there's a flatness and a kind of a lacquer to the surface of some of your paintings, not all of them.
Yeah.
But this one is not flat. There's a definite texture and a sense of layering.
Right. Just in thinking about like the anatomy of the natural world, like the physical qualities of the flower, like, you know, the leaves, right? So the texture in that is paint, but it's paint that has kind of that has solidified from being just like left open. So I could physically peel the paint out of the can and kind of then manipulate it and cut it and tear it and place it on the painting itself. So there was that, like, you know, feeling of like, you know, mimicking or manufacturing the natural world with this man-made substance.
Yeah, and I think that kind of draws attention to the medium itself as well. It's really like, we know that this is a painting and it's done with paint, but when you've taken those, you know, those thicker solidified skins of paint and used them almost as petals, like you're really, you know, drawing our attention to that even more.
Right.
And just looking at the tulips here today, there are definitely some varieties that got that kind of, their petals curl over and curl in, and it really reminds me of
like a crumpled piece of paper, you know, there's a beauty and floral quality to that as well. And like, you know, the imperfections are what make the natural world so beautiful, really.
Yeah.
You know, in all of us, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then there's also some pencil marks on there as well, right?
Yep. And I think that might have been sort of motivated by this, like, as we were saying earlier, there's like some sort of like bacterial quality. So that was kind of the hideousness of the time, the you know, sort of dirty or sort of, you know, imperfect quality of the time. And it creates, you know, formally, I think it creates sort of a middle ground, or foreground, middle ground, and background on that piece.
Right, so another nod to these kind of formal conventions of landscape painting, but done in a slightly different abstracted way.
Right.
But those suggestions are there, the horizontal canvas, the background, the foreground.
Right.
Yeah. And kind of taking, you know, just looping back to where we started a little bit, but taking something here in this place, in this right now, in this moment, and in our town, in our community, as your starting point kind of for that. Mm-hmm. So we both live in New Paltz, we're both part of the community here, and we have a sense of what the mountain house, you know, means to people in this area. I love it up here. I bring my children here any opportunity I have. Yeah. Do you have any particular memories of being up here?
Oh yeah, well we're here, you know, often as possible. I mean, my family uses the grounds pretty regularly on hikes and you know, walks. And the lemon squeeze, we, you know, any opportunity we get on a beautiful day like today, we, you know, are usually as a family hiking the lemon squeeze, heading up to the tower, and just you know, the preserve as well, and are all absolutely beautiful. And to have it, you know, in our backyard is we're truly fortunate.
Yeah.
And just what the Smiley family has created here is really impressive, you know, over how many generations of family. It's just, you know, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, just even this garden and the kind of creative investment they're making, you know, each season, each year, I mean, so beautiful.
Yeah.
We're so fortunate to have this here. And
yeah, it's truly an artful place, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you know, there's an artful quality to this place that, other than just the beauty of the landscape, you know.
Yeah.
I think conceptually, to come and for a family to, you know, sculpt and groom, you know, landscape and create a space like this is absolutely amazing.
And I think it is kind of part of the creative spirit of our town, right? Like, you know, you aren't born and bred New Paltz, but one of the reasons you came was to go to SUNY New Paltz to study fine art, right?
Yep.
And I think SUNY New Paltz's presence and the strength of the School of Fine and Performing Arts on campus, as well as the diversity of all the students and professors, you know, is one factor that contributes to the creativity of New Paltz as a town. You know, we do have a lot of artists living here. There is a sense of fresh energy that the campus brings, and sense of inquiry, and just a great love and respect for the nature here and how beautiful the topography of our area is.
Right.
And I think, you know, I think your practice straddles all of those things.
You know, that is New Paltz. It's you know, it is the landscape, but more so it's the community that build, you know, that the landscape of the people and the community itself is really, really the point of interest for myself and what makes, you know, what makes it so comfortable to be here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, you are a valued member of that community because you contribute to it.
As are
powerfully.
you, and the museum,
Yeah.
and Mohonk Mountain House as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.